Welcome back to We Are Nacogdoches. It's the show where we talk about all the good things we have in our town and the people who make it happen. I'm Kelly Augustine with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and today I have a very special guest with me, actually part of our city of Nacogdoches, our Historic Sites Manager, Veronica A. Moe.
Hi.
Hi, Veronica. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, historic sites in the oldest town in Texas. I can only imagine what all you get to keep up with. Why don't you give us a glimpse into your day? What are your job duties?
So, what I like about my job is it's something different every day. So, in the morning, I could be going to my office, checking emails. On another day, I could be going to a site, meeting with contractors on a restoration project. Sometimes it's going in the gardens and pulling weeds. It's just we do whatever needs to be done to take care of the sites and make sure that we're ready for tours and to welcome our visitors.
Well, thank you for managing, because they are very important to us, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned restoration. I'm going to ask a real quick question here. So how do you manage to keep things standing and functional, yet, contain the integrity of what they are?
Absolutely. So that is the fun challenge with historic structures is that they don't stay in a restored state. They're living, breathing things. They need constant upkeep, and that's part of our charge is to monitor the sites for rotting wood or chipping paint, simple things, or an entirely new roof. Our museum assistants are fantastic. If I can't be at the sites all the time, they let me know when something needs to be looked at. And then from there, we kind of analyze what it is. We look to see if it's in our scope to restore it. And then from there, we make sure we're doing it as historically accurate as possible. So with like rotting wood, we don't just completely put in all new wood. We just remove the parts that need to be replaced. And then, of course, we work a lot with our Texas Historical Commission. If we're not sure how to approach an area, we'll consult with our local representative to see what the best solution is for that problem. And from there, we work with contractors. Luckily, we have a lot of amazing contractors in the area who are used to working with historic buildings because we have so many here in Nacogdoches. So, yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know for property owners out there that might want to find someone that's familiar with that type of work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you mentioned the network of folks that are somehow connected to historical sites.
Yeah.
What is it like working with someone at the state level or other areas, other agencies?
So what I found is that they really just want to help. And I think that's fantastic because some of us are new to historic sites. Some of us have been in it for many years. But regardless, there's always a time where we need to get another perspective or get some help. So I know the Texas Historical Commission, we work with them a lot because our sites are recorded Texas historical landmarks. Or what we call state antiquities landmarks. So those who are held to a higher threshold of historic authenticity, we work with them to make sure we're doing everything correctly, as historic as possible. And sometimes it might just be a simple question of, oh, hey, we're struggling with this area, in y'all's expertise, can y'all help us find a solution? So I found that most people just want to help and help save these sites and keep them for a long time.
Well, we certainly are very proud of our sites and the history and culture that they represent. And I'm glad you mentioned the pulling weeds in the garden because, these are somewhat venues. I guess you could look at them in that way that folks can enjoy for their moments in life.
Yeah.
You want to touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So with the pulling weeds in the garden, that would be the Durst Taylor Historic House and Gardens. And that site, some of the programs that we run are called Thursdays in the Gardens, where we not only are interpreting the house and the exhibit, but the gardens are a big part of an 1800s farmstead. So we make sure that the gardens are presentable and we're growing things as best we can. We work directly with our city gardener, who they're amazing. They help us figure out what plants would have been grown in this area in that time period. And then with some of the programs, we just invite visitors out to come and see the plants. Sometimes they're helping us plant new vegetables in the kitchen garden. We also, anything that we grow at Durst Taylor, which it's a smaller farmstead, we're not growing a lot, but anything that we grow, our visitors are welcome to come and take. Like, we have regular visitors who come in fig season to pull figs from our fig trees, which is perfectly fine. We have a huge pecan tree. So yeah, visitors are completely welcome to come and explore the gardens and sites and everything.
That's exciting. I can imagine, especially with children.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's important with children because a lot of times, they think a strawberry comes from the grocery store, and they don't understand that strawberry is grown from the ground. And I think it's important that they see, this, a lot of work goes into this, and they've been grown for hundreds and hundreds of years. And that's where our food comes from, is the ground.
Yes, wonderful. And also the partnerships
Mhm.
that you've established,
Oh yeah.
both in the community
Mhm.
or with other groups.
Mhm. Yeah, we work with a lot of different groups. I'm a big believer in collaborating with people with different organizations. We've mentioned before, Friends of Historic Nacogdoches Inc. started as a friends group for the Stern Hoya House, and then a friends group for the Durst Taylor House. And then they came together to support Nacogdoches history as a whole. So we partner with them for events like the Living History Tour of Oak Grove Cemetery, the Christmas tour of homes around the holidays, where private citizens will open up their homes for people to tour. It's a fantastic event. We love it so much. We work with the Nacogdoches County Historical Foundation. They help us with a really locally popular event called the Nacogdoches Beefsteak Dinner. It's a fundraiser for Zion Hill Preservation. It's a real casual fundraiser. There's no utensils, and so that was a great collaboration. We also work with individuals. Recently, now we have an exhibit on display, who's a local photographer, Richard Orton's exhibit. So we collaborate with him on that, and a documentary screening. We also work with the other museums here in Nacogdoches. We do programs like Summer Scavenger Hunt, and it's basically just to promote all of the amazing attractions we have here. So that's not just our 4 sites, but it extends to the Cole Art Center, Millard's Crossing, and the Stone Fort Museum. We work together to help promote each other and get people to come and visit.
I bet that works well too.
Oh yeah, it's been really successful, and it's just great to have a community of people who are so supportive of our museums.
I'm curious, what have you seen happen now that the Zion Hill Baptist Church is back open?
It's been a complete privilege, and it's been amazing, the programs that we've hosted, and some that we kind of came up with, but some that kind of stumbled into our laps. We've had some amazing concerts there. We've featured both local artists and then artists from across the state. We've shown films there. We had a film that was locally produced. We had the documentary screening. We've had a lot of history talks. We've partnered again with Friends of Historic Nacogdoches Inc., who bring in these local historians to come and talk and make some of the history more approachable, more accessible to people. And I think there's just been a true joy in the church being used as a place for the community to gather and to learn and to experience these things together.
Well, I think whatever you're doing, you're loving it.
Yeah.
Because as I'm watching you talk about it,
Yeah.
it just seems like the passion is spilling out. But what is it about working in these wonderful areas that really gets you excited?
It really is. It is the people. I mean, these historic structures are beautiful and amazing, and the historic figures that they're attached to are amazing. But the living people that we get to experience and enjoy working with today is just amazing. And we have people who come in who are, live across the country, who just visit Nacogdoches to see the oldest town in Texas. We get to learn where they're from and their own history. We also have a lot of people who are passionate about preserving the history here in Nacogdoches. So that's people who are supportive, people who we can go to for help if we need to, know more history about the area we live in. So I just enjoy working with the people who engage with our sites and just the community as a whole.
And of course, the sites are open to the public.
Yes.
So beyond special events where special memories are made, you
Yeah.
can visit anytime.
Oh yeah,
right?
they're open every week. They're free to visit, so we welcome anybody to come and tour the sites.
That's wonderful, Veronica. Well, if someone wanted to get more information, where would they go?
So our webpage is on the city's website, noctx.us/historic sites. We're also on Facebook and Instagram where we engage with our audience as well.
Lovely. We love keeping up with you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today on We Are Nacogdoches. We will see you again soon.
This program is brought to you by the Department of Media and Communication at Stephen F. Austin State University, in association with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and with special thanks to the City of Nacogdoches.